a teenager who became a legend, a move named after the man who dreamed it up, and a tiny island that grew its team an ocean away. Let's go! Let's begin with Sweden. They have a great football history, and in 1958, they even reached the World Cup final, right at home, with the whole country dreaming. But standing in their way was a Brazilian boy, just 17 years old, playing in his very first World Cup. That boy's nickname was Pelé. He scored in the final, Brazil won, and the world met the player many call the greatest of all time. Sweden, the hosts, took home a silver medal they are still proud of. Just imagine being there to watch such a legend begin. And today, in Houston, the Netherlands were in dazzling form and beat Sweden 5-1. The team in orange attacked again and again, and they looked like a side to watch at this World Cup. The Netherlands gave football a move so clever, it is named after the man who invented it. Back in 1974, a player called Johan Cruyff pretended to pass the ball, then suddenly dragged it behind his own leg and spun away, leaving the defender chasing a ghost. To this day, players everywhere call it the Cruyff Turn. He then led the Dutch team to the World Cup final, by many considered the best football team who never won a World Cup. In Toronto, Germany and the Ivory Coast played a real thriller. The Ivory Coast took the lead and fought wonderfully, but Germany came back through their substitute Deniz Undav, who scored twice, including the winner in the very last moments, to win 2-1. Here's a fresh Germany fact for you. No player in history has ever scored more World Cup goals than Germany's Miroslav Klose, who scored 16. He beat the record of 15 goals previously imposed by Ronaldo O Fenomeno back in 2002. Now, in this cup, already tied with Messi and with Mbappe also pushing to break the record, we will see how long can Klose keep his throne. The Ivory Coast have a true hero in their story, Didier Drogba. He scored his country's very first World Cup goal back in 2006 against mighty Argentina, and led his team onto the biggest stage again and again. For a whole generation in the Ivory Coast, Drogba is the reason they fell in love with football. I gotta admit, he inspired me too. In Kansas City, tiny Curaçao did something amazing. Their goalkeeper, Eloy Room, made save after save, 15 of them, to hold Ecuador to a goalless draw and win Curaçao's very first World Cup point. What a performance! Here's a funny one. Ecuador were invited to the very first World Cup in 1930 and said no because the trip costed too much money. Something today would be unbelievable. Today, they are one of South America's strongest teams. And did you know that in Curaçao's team, most of their players grew up far away in the Netherlands, learning their football there before choosing to play for the little island their families come from. It is an honor to play for your country, no matter where you're born. And down in Monterrey, Japan were in superb form and beat Tunisia 4-0, with Ayase Ueda scoring twice. 4 more games done! Tunisia did something almost unheard of to reach this World Cup. They played their whole qualifying campaign without letting in a single goal. And Japan? At the last World Cup, they beat Germany, yes, the same Germany playing today, and also Spain, 2 of the biggest teams in the world. And they are going to meet again. Crazy coincidence! So tell me, if this World Cup had one big surprise, what do you think it will be? Write it in the comments. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. I'm Simon. See you tomorrow.